Hello, good people. Welcome to another episode of Property Talk underscore Cacisa. Today, I'm joined with a guest. I'm going to introduce him. He's going to introduce himself, and it's a business person into a property development space. So I decided to invite him and come and share his concept of his business. For me, it felt so interesting. Hence, I decided to invite him and have this conversation with him. So go get yourself pen and paper, and then you can enjoy the interview and get some notes and share also on the comment page of what you think and what are you interested also to invest in this and want to get more information about it. Hello,
Hello, how's it?
I'm good, and how are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence in this platform.
Oh no,
And
it's a pleasure. Mm.
I saw your Instagram page and I was like, wow, I need to
Mm.
invite you, into the space because I've seen that quite a lot of this upcoming property development concept into containers and all of that. And I thought,
Mm.
let me bring you on board and then have a conversation with you just to get to understand what is this container business in the property development space and how one can invest. Is it high risk business? And if I'm interested in it, how can you assist me get into that space? So yeah, so I'll firstly want you to introduce yourself and who you are and where you're based and what is the name of your business and all of that jazz.
Mm. Nah, for sure. So my name is Kgotso, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I started the company called Kgotso. I have a co-founder, which is my beautiful person, my wife to be. So Kgotso is a boy from the township who started with basic stuff. And basics by basic stuff, I mean selling basic stuff like sweets and snacks in school.
Wow.
So, yeah, from starting that small, you kind of understand the steps of business, what exchanging a product and money can bring you. You exchange a product for a minimum amount and then you add with the profit you make, and then boom, you have made something. So I discovered that's amazing. And then from there, I obviously wanted to grow and let me just sell something bigger. And then I went from sweets and snacks. I started selling caps when I was in matric, and then from there, I also ventured into selling sneakers like Air Forces and Jordans and all that. So
Mm.
if you can start small, yeah, you can. That's what I figured. You can also do it big, so why not venture into something like property if you could sell sweets? So that's when I started like thinking of what property first can I sell that's affordable, not only for me but for other people as well. And then that's when containers came along. I was like, this is a great idea, let me run with it. And then that's how the company started. And then yeah.
Wow. Wow, some amazing story there. So it's actually
Mm,
a humble beginnings, you were born
mm,
with this entrepreneurship, spirit. Hence, it was
yeah,
sort of like easier for you to gel into the business itself and without having those hiccups because already you have that spirit of getting to to entrepreneurship.
for sure. That's very much true. Yeah.
Wow.
It's mm, it is. It's all about sometimes you have a gift but you don't know, and then later on in life it just exposes itself and you see yourself flourishing in something and then you go for it. That's it. Because I remember I wanted to do music at some point, but
Hmm.
uh, yeah, but selling is the one that kind of grabbed me and made money, and then I started running with that. Yeah. Mhm.
So how long did it take you then to get into the property industry after you have done the smaller businesses like selling the sweets and snacks and going to the sneaker business and then now venturing into property. So how long did it take you to get into that? Did it require you a lot of money? You had to have to save the capital that you've made from the other business to venture into the property space of the containers?
Mm. Yeah. It can take time. It can take time, especially if you're saving up. But the
Mm,
best way to do it is to find investors. If you have a brilliant idea, you're trying to build a building that has 4 stories or 58 stories or even more than that, you just have to have a solid plan regarding that, and then find people who will invest in the project, and then boom, you building out of the blue, out of the yeah. And then you have to know how to divide the profits between you and the investors, the landowners, and yourself. So it's all about a plan. If your plan is good, you go to the right people, and they agree with your idea. Then
mm,
boom, you just started. And
wow.
mhm. And yeah, in terms of the timing, it'll depend on how far you go, how much you advertise for investors, where you go, who you know, and then if you know the right people, if you know them earlier, then you're gonna get in earlier into the space. And then if you take time to build your contacts, that's okay too. As long as you know what you're doing, you understand what you're about to do, the profits, the groundwork, the zoning, and all that, then you'll be
Mm,
good. Yeah, and yeah, okay. There's also like factors like zoning and
mm,
proclamation that take a little bit more time. But some properties are already established, like maybe for instance, student accommodations in Melville. So it's only a matter of just purchasing the house or purchasing a standing property that you can jump in real quick, and then before you know it, you're starting to make money and everybody's happy. Yeah.
wow. Interesting, eh?
Mm-hmm.
So tell me then,
Mm-hmm.
Ngoku, how long has been into this business? When did it start?
It started 2 years ago. It's yeah,
Oh,
I've been in business 2 years ago. Yeah,
also
two years ago.
it's fairly new, but you have achieved so much, yeah?
Oh yeah, it's fairly new. Yeah. So in SA, honestly, it is new. In SA, we started like during COVID. I think it was 7 months back, but it actually started in the States. In the
Mm.
States, yeah, in the States, we built a few, maybe five, close to five, and then yeah, then that's when we decided, now let's expand and also take it to SA. Why not?
Wow.
So in SA, yeah. Hmm.
So what were some of the risks that you had to overcome for you to be
Hmm.
able to fully establish your business?
Okay. The risks. You have to. One of the major risks, I think, is handling investors' money. You have to be careful when it comes to that, and you have to be very ready. Your proposal has to be ready. Your land has to be ready, and yeah, yeah. The money factor was the most major risk, because something happens or one mistake, you lose all that money. How you gonna get it back? That's going to be another mountain to climb. So when it comes to money management, that's the
Hmm.
major we had to concur. Yeah. Hmm.
Oh, okay. So the process of establishing then the business in terms of the location and all of that. So because you talked about the zoning, you talked about the land and so forth. So you had to get actually experts in that field, like your town planners, to assist you with the zoning and so forth.
Yes, definitely is. You yeah, from the plan of building the apartment, you go to the municipality, and then they have to approve it. Sometimes it takes 2 months, sometimes it can even take a year or
Mm.
6 months. But once it's approved, building process is underway. You can start building once the approval is given, and then once you start building, it's all about building, making sure the project is smooth, and what you're trying to achieve
Mm.
becomes, and then from there, you on your way up to the top. Then you can start advertising, and people can start living, and you can start having your own bank generating income to you every month.
Wow.
Mhm.
So Kyogo, someone like me, Kyogo, I'm interested to get a container from you and rent it out. What is the steps that one needs to take? What is the first step that I need to do?
Oh, okay. When it comes to that, the steps you have to do is just have land, have like enough land to place the cabins. If you want 10, as long as you have land for 10, we'll come survey the land and then let you actually survey the land, plan on regarding your land, how it's built, if we do double-story cabins or if we do single 20 feet cabins on the floor or 40 feet. And then once we have a plan, the main thing we have to get approval from the municipality is digging for sewage. Once we can get that approval, of which it doesn't take long. It sometimes it takes 2 months, but yeah, I think minimum amount is like a month or a few weeks. Once that's sorted out, then we can start placing the cabins, and then boom, you can start renting them out, and then you get a cut, which is 38%, and then we get the rest. We pay off our investors and ourselves, and everybody's happy from just that simple transaction of having land that you don't have to, yeah, just as long as you have land, you good.
Wow, so
Mm-hmm.
simple as that. Just get yourself land. So I can even with my, let's say I've got a house and I've got a space at the back. I can just simply
Mm-hmm.
approach you and say, you know what, I just need to rent out a container from you. And then you set up the whole thing for me, assist me to set it up. Is that how it works?
Oh, yeah, as easy as that. Yeah, just as long as you have land, approach me, set it up, and then we can start all making money. Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Wow, this cool. That's kind of cool and nice. Because
Yeah.
seriously, sometimes Nif, you want to have to generate income. You want to generate income, but you just the thought of having to draw up some plans, having to get the
Mm.
money from the bank to build, all those structural processes, and then it will take you about maybe 2 to 3 years to actually to have a full structure that is functional for you to bring in tenants to that. So for your concept, for me, I see it's kind of nice and simple because the only thing that you need is to contact you to get the land, and then you just
Mm.
bring the container to your house, and then boom, it's there, and then you start. In terms of the interior of it, and because obviously we have to have a connection in terms of electricity, the stormwater, and so forth. So you also assist in that regard, or the
Uh,
client has to do that on her own.
oh yeah, we regarding that we have two phases. It's either we can install a meter and the rent and the person who will be living there will pay their own electricity. But as for water, it just connects to the house and that's paid for by the landowner from the rental income. So how we stationed the percentage of getting the from the rental income, from the split between you and us, we made it in such a way that if you had to have your room and you've built it, you'd actually get that amount. So like if a room in Auckland Park costs 1.7,
Hmm.
so we come in with our cabin, we charge roughly 3.8, and then we make sure that you still get that 1.7 you would have gotten even if we weren't there or you were renting out by yourself. And then it counts like that because you can still pay water, you can still pay electricity, the Wi-Fi, you're still making enough income to run your own business with our business at the same time. So so yeah, so when it comes to electricity and water supplies, it's either we can make an agreement with the landowner, tell them they just have to connect the electricity to the cabin, and then uh, the tenant will just pay a monthly or it'll be covered in their rental income, and then every month they have electricity flowing to them free of charge. Or we can install a meter box, and then the tenants can pay their own electricity. It goes either way, both ways, yeah. So when it comes to sewage and electricity, the sewage will connect to the main house's sewage, and electricity will connect to. So they will both come from the main house, and yeah, and then that's how it will flow. Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
So all of that including the whole cost of the business package that you bring to the client.
Oh yes, yes, definitely yes, yes.
Wow.
We cover everything. You just have to manage the tenant, make sure everything is going well, and yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Wow,
Mhm.
that's interesting. So tell me, Kengoku, in terms of do you assist the client in the aspect of getting the tenant? Is the property consulting part of it, or for you it's more on the installation of this container, the structural type of the side of the business? So you also do the property consultant side that you assist the client to get the tenants and all of that, or is something that you're still thinking about doing?
Yeah, it's actually something we're still thinking about doing. If the landowner can get their own tenants, that would be fine. That would be amazing. But if they're struggling, that's when we might jump in and maybe find a realtors or real estate agents, or find these platforms that are online and then market the accommodation. Yeah, I think yeah. But yeah, if the landlord can manage to find their own tenants, that would be amazing. That'd be
Oh,
super amazing.
and then is there any registration cost for the clients to join or to approach you? What is it? Is there any process in terms of the startup, the for getting, do you have forms that one can download, and then also there's registration cost and all those hidden costs? Are they there
Oh,
in the whole business?
and nah, there's definitely no hidden costs. It's just a matter of owning that piece of land, and then we come in and give you that opportunity to make money
Simple as
as
that.
we will. It
Wow.
is.
I think it's kind of something that can, excites me because I mean, it's so
Mm,
nice, to property development. I mean, property investment. It's a way. It's a
mm,
good way of generating income. It's a good way that
for
can
sure.
bring a sustainable income to
Mm,
one's life. So such concepts, such businesses, it's so exciting because it means that it's a way that is more accessible to a whole lot
mm,
of people because property development is like something that is exclusive. You need to have money, you need to have capital, but your business concept is it's simple. It's like just get a space, get a land,
mm,
have the rights in place, and then boom,
mm,
you bring the container, and then you assist me into actually getting the whole property thing running and stuff, and for me also getting the generating income. Obviously, businesses they all have the pros and the cons, you know.
mm,
They always,
for
and
sure.
it's a matter of how you mitigate, the cons. So, have you encountered any challenges and the profits behind you doing this whole container business? Because it's still new in South Africa. We still need to get into and get the
Mm.
momentum of it and stuff.
For sure. Me, I think one of the problems we've encountered is maybe if the municipality doesn't approve of the container being there as number one, and then number two would be if it's very hard to find tenants, then it becomes problematic. But yeah, over time, given time, tenants do come and approval is given because the cabin is movable. It's sort of like temporary housing. It doesn't connect to the main house or the ground or the land of the landowner. So when we bring it, what we do
Mm-hmm.
is we agree on a lease date, a
Mm-hmm.
lease period. Yeah, if the lease period is 2 years, we just place it there for 2 years, and then within that two space of 2 years, we just have to find a tenant to occupy the cabin. And then after 2 years, if you liked the income and you liked the product and you liked running the cabin, then you can renew the contract. So uh, yes, it's very much removable, and yeah. So the main problem we've had, yeah, not finding tenants and not getting approval from your municipality, or it's maybe taking a long time to get approved. But once it's approved, it's just a matter of placing the cabin, lease date, and then we start doing business.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So, are there any other options like for clients? If I hear the free rent, the free installation side of it, is there any that is another option that you have? Do you have any other options in place?
Yes, there's actually currently right now we just met up with a landowner yesterday. So he has 6 acres of land and he's trying to get our cabins on that land. So um the another option that we have that we're about to work on is the investors option. If anybody has an investment or a certain portion of money and they want to jump into this opportunity, they can jump in freely. And then the cabins will be placed, and then the investor, us, and the landowner will be all making money, and everybody will be happy. So that's another option. The other option is about investors. If you have a minimum of 80K, you can start from 80K to invest up to however much you want to invest. And the more you invest, obviously, is the more you make. And yeah, that's the other option, investment option. Yeah. So what we're gonna do is on our page, on our social media pages, we're gonna start posting soon, and then hosting Zoom meetings and live meetings where we meet clients and then explain how they're gonna make money and how the landowner's gonna make money, show them the project. Since we're still working on it, we still have to design it. We have an idea. We have our first design, in fact, which we're gonna post as well. But yeah, we just want to make it more advanced, and so that the investor can be happy too. And then when they can jump in, they're free to jump in. They can even jump in into the household cabins where we place them in landowners' property or small houses property. They can jump into that and make money too. So yeah, that's the other option: investors option and landowners option. Mhm.
Good. So tell me here, with the lease option, do you have a duration of for the client leasing the container? Is it there's a time frame?
Yeah, there's a time frame. Our minimum time frame is a year. But if we agree with you and you want to take it to as much as 5 years, that's okay too. And then we extend the lease, and yeah, and then we in business for 5 years. Mm-hmm.
Nice. And then,
Mm-hmm.
so do you think when this whole obviously there's a risk from your side to get into container business because it's still something
Mm-hmm.
that's still learning, it's still new in our space in South Africa.
Yes, I definitely think there's a future. Um, yeah, one thing I've seen that container people or other or let me generalize it and say containers that are built is um, they might not make them that outstanding. So
Mm.
if a person had to compare a container and a brick, they feel like a brick is more valid, more solid. But that's because the person who built the container did not build it in a way that's very attractive and appealing and catchy. And I feel like once container builders can break that barrier and make the containers outstanding and know how to build them right, then it'll flourish even more. But so far it has started flourishing because there's a few container buildings that are in Joburg. One is in Melville and it's called 27 Boxes. It's a very beautiful container complex shopping center. And they did it, they did it. And there's another building in Joburg. I think it's a student accommodation, and they did it too. And so it's all about seeing the seeing the opportunity. And since it's fairly new and it hasn't really mushroomed that much, that's when people have to jump on the most and try to make the most of it. And before you know it, SA will be filled with these containers, and they will be the talk of the town or the talk of the city.
For
Yeah.
sure, for sure, for sure. Is yeah, I think so as well. I believe so. I mean, even here this side in Cape Town is starting to pick up. I mean,
Oh,
I was involved in a project where the developer, and he was wanted some town planning advice in terms of the land, the location, all of that. But the concept was the container. It's a mixed use development. So I was like, hey, this thing is starting to pick up in South Africa. Yeah? People must watch out. This is the this is definitely the future code. So, and what
Mm.
measures do you guys have in your containers that makes it one to be comfortable living in the container?
Oh yeah. So one of the major factors we have is insulation. We insulate the container very well, and then we also put in air cons, so the container doesn't catch the temperature of the environment, but you set the temperature in the container. So insulation all the way is what we do in these containers. So it feels like a brick and mortar house.
Oh, okay.
Um, Mm. And you basically control the temperature of the house and not the external environment factors. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm, that's good.
Oh.
I think
Mm.
soon I'm going to be contacting you to come and place a code because I need some extra cash.
Oh
Eh,
yeah.
I don't have capital to build, yeah. So this is a nice easy way of making money. Guys, you must listen. You know, you can't start complaining that property development is expensive. Now, this is a concept. This is a brilliant, brilliant business. You know that one you can easily make money. Next month you can be generating 1.7 a month. Wow, that's so nice. So tell me, so
For
what do you
sure.
think what actually inspired you to get into this business? What do you think that we should have known before you actually start into this whole business? You know, sometimes,
Uh,
especially being a young and black male in this industry.
yeah. If yeah, definitely. Yeah. Hey, it's really sad uh how we've been disadvantaged from such knowledge of making money. But yeah, if there's one thing I wish somebody would have told me when I was young was that you need to make money every month on a consistent basis. You need to find a way to make money so that you sustain your life, and you need to find a way to work less and make more versus working more and making less. So it's yeah. So what really truly inspired me is the money factor, like how you can make a lot of money by just working less, and how this thing called property can sustain you. And without you putting much effort in it, you just have to maintain the real estate. As long as it's in good shape and there's tenants and the tenants are happy, you
Mm.
good when they are good, and the money just comes rolling in. So that's one of the major factors that inspired me. And one thing I wish from my black community is that they educate themselves about money, because
Mm.
yeah, because money is really important. And I know we hear a lot about how people tell us to follow your dream. It can bring you a cash flow that's really easy and simple, and it can make you live a solid life that you want to live. And then yeah, so real estate was one of those things that make you financially stable. Even if you don't own a lot, even if you can own 9 rooms and they all cost 2.5, you times that, it's like 20 something K. You remove the tax, you pay tax, yeah, you pay your employees, and maybe you roughly remained or you left with 15,000. 15,000 is something that can sustain you every
Mm.
month coming in. So whatever career we choose as our community, I wish in schools that's what they should be teaching, that you need to focus on money. You need to understand finance. If somebody had to give you 1 million, can you break it down? Can you multiply it? And what does it buy? What does 200,000 buy? And where can you invest it to make another 200,000? Those type of simple factors. And they really simple. They on the internet. You can find them. You can Google them. And I advise you to do that research on YouTube and just know about all these strategies of making income. And every dream on earth might take time. If you're trying to be a musician, that might take time. Um, um, if you're trying to be an artist or anything that you're trying to be. It's going to take time. But what's worth following is something that can give you 1 billion or 1 million or make you a multi-million. That's worth following, because once you achieve that, you achieve that money and you're good for the rest of your life. And not only for you, but for the generations to come after you. So yeah, that's what I solely wish for our Black community to be taught. Finance. Finance is life. It's close to water and air, because without it, you can't flow properly the way you want to flow. So yeah, that's what I wish, yeah, for our Black community. And yeah, that's what we're trying to do, empower our Black community as much as possible. And I'm very grateful for being here, and I like what you're doing, because this opportunity and platform does exactly that. It empowers people of our race, and before you know it, we'll be equally yoked with other races, and we'll be good. Yeah, but I like the progress so far, because we're doing good. We are rising up, and it's amazing. Yeah.
So which areas do you service?
Oh yeah, we actually do service Soweto as well, Davidton, Etwa. Yeah, as long as there's major economic activity happening around, we service that place. We definitely service that place. So there has to be major economic service where people can live and go to work at the same time. So yeah, it basically, yeah. But the main thing is, for now, we still based in Joburg. But if you're in Cape Town, maybe we might try and arrange and maybe try to partner up with people from that side, and then they can come build the cabins, and then we'll see how we work all that out. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wonderful, exciting. So, and then what are your greatest highlights in this whole thing, this business venture? What is your greatest highlight?
Yes, to be honest, in SA, we don't have like big highlights. Most of our highlights are in the States. So on our social media page, I'll put pictures of our highlights and links where they can view our highlights. But yeah, if people if SA can allow us to build those highlights, we'll be very much happy. And yeah, one step at a time, and we'll take those opportunity with both hands. Yeah.
What advice can you give to people that are interested in property investment based on your own life experience and in your journey?
Oh yeah. The advice I'd give is that property is like a bank. You know, once you own property, you basically owning a bank. You know what I mean? Because money just start flowing in, and even if there's major hiccups, like maybe something happens at work, but property is a backup, and it'll bring in more money for you. And if you can, I'd advise that go out and venture out in owning property, because that's where the money's at. Like there's the 4 quadrants of cash flow. The first one is employment, and the second one is self-employment, and then the third one is a business owner, and then the fourth one, which is the highest, is investors. So whatever you do, you want to play around investments. That's when money makes money. You put 100,000 down, and then over the years, it makes you a total of 500,000 in 5 years. So you just want to know how to work money, play around with money, calculate money. And even if you didn't do accounting, start trying to understand accounting, or actually counting money is accounting. So yeah, just study your money. And because if you can count 1 million, if you can count 1 billion, it means you have the potential of attaining 1 billion. It means you will attract such. And before you know it, somebody will be saying, we want to give you 1 million, because you can handle 1 million. But if you can't, there's a saying, it says, you can only go as far as you can see. If you can't see it, you can't go to it. If you don't understand it, you can't handle it. And yeah, if you don't research about it, if you don't attain the knowledge, there's a scripture, it says, my people perish because of lack of knowledge. It's all about knowledge. Most people fail, not because they're lesser than other people. It's because of the knowledge. They don't reach out for more knowledge. They're not hungry for knowledge, because you can only be good at something if you know how to do it, if you have the knowledge of doing that thing. So I'd advise everybody to jump in. This is a great opportunity, and it'll make you good. Just pursue it until you get it right. Because it's a bank. Once you own a building, a skyscraper, you're basically owning a bank. And yeah, definitely people should jump in. Mm-hmm.
Wow, so much wisdom there. I think you must be a motivational speaker. I'm already motivated. And maybe another, I was really thinking about being a motivational speaker. Yeah, actually, I'm so motivated. I'm telling you. So where people can find you, man? I'm blown away. Where people can find you?
Yeah, but people can find us on social media. On Instagram, they can find us at Kgotso_. And then on Facebook, they can find us at Kgotso. We basically have two pages, a personal one and a fan page. So they both Kgotso. And then on YouTube as well, people can find us at Kgotso. And then also on Twitter at Kgotso. So basically it's at Kgotso. Kgotso, if I may put it properly. It's Carter, as in Jay-Z, the Carter from Jay-Z. So Kgotso. Mm-hmm.
Wow, thank you. Wow, thank you so much. You are actually, I definitely am going to contact you soon after this. Guys, I think I must let go of Kgotso. Yo, that was mouthful. Thank you so much, and it was such an interesting interview, guys. So it was a great honor, Kgotso, to come into this platform, and I've learned a lot, and I believe that everybody also has learned a lot. People will contact you guys. I will leave his handle on the comment page, and so that you can contact him further if you're interested to get into the business, and also to rent out the containers. There's a lot of options that he had said, so it's really up to you if you want to make money or not. So it was good, and yeah, thank you so much. And guys, keep well. Any last words? You want to say hi to anyone? For the police. Oh, I'm joking, right? I'm playing. Okay, so guys, keep well, and it is good, and God bless you. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos and more notifications. Keep well.